in consortium with other federal departments. So we have an interdepartmental steering committee to make sure that all of our questions are being answered. So this is getting fed into the blue economy strategy as well as other areas in the federal department. So we're all trying to collaborate together so that we have one solid voice when it comes to research and development and innovation, particularly as it affects our economy. So I'm going to take you through a very quick, why isn't it going? Okay, sorry, it's there we are. Maybe it's going to advance like 3 times, so I apologize for that. But I'm going to take you through a very quick who we are, the NRC, what NRC is doing in response to the ocean. I think we all know that the ocean space is a big deal today and going to be for the next little while, and then why we're all here together. And then I'll be passing it on to Elisa, who has a lot more valuable information to say regarding marine renewables than I do. So I look forward to hearing her as well. So the NRC is basically Canada's research and technology organization, and that really means that we are the R&D branch for natural sciences, not for social sciences, of the federal government. And so we really, our vision is about creating a better Canada through science and innovation, again, natural science, applied science and innovation, and we really value excellence, respect, integrity, collaboration, impact, etc. Like, this is an important thing. I like to put this up always first so that you really get an idea of who it is that you're working with. Oftentimes, you know, there's questions about what the motives are, and our motive is really to help Canadians be as innovative as possible. And it really is not, it's altruistic. We are a federal government to do that. Our mission is to collaborate across the global innovation system, and we want to transform ideas into innovation to benefit Canada and the world, basically. Now we have three major objectives, actually mandates. We are mandated to help business innovation. We do this with over 4,000 scientists, engineers, technicians, etc. And we work with over 200, almost 260 SMEs so that we can make sure they're as innovative as possible. And really what we are is that ability to, if you're a small company and you need to do some research, you're not going to invest in a lab. So you're not going to get a tow tank, or you're not going to get some form of wind tunnel. You're really going to use one that's already there and available to you. And that's what we want to do. We want to basically provide research services where they're necessary. We also help government mandates. So federal policy mandates is our mandate as well. We don't create the mandate. What we do is we create the science evidence to support those mandates. So we're really about getting evidence evidence for science policy. And then of course, advancing knowledge. We have people who hold, we hold the kilogram. We also have scientists who are looking at exoplanets, and even in the ocean space, we have scientists who are looking at how the ocean can be cleaner, etc. We have about a 1.1 billion annual budget, so that makes us pretty happy there. It is, however, to fund our research facilities, and most of what we do from a from a labor perspective is cost recoverable. We do this purposely because if we're not doing the right work and we're just doing our own, we're not going to be relevant to industry, who really is who we're supposed to be dealing with. So we really do want to make sure that we have value for our stakeholders, and so we charge a little bit for that. But it is a cost recovery. We are not a for-profit industry at all, and we do that, like I said, for relevance. So we have 4 basic activities that we do: strategic research and development. What we're talking about today is going to be there. That's what we're focused on, is really where do we invest our research so that we can work together to have a benefit to what's going on in the marine renewable space. And then of course we have technical services, IRAP. Many of you must know IRAP already. IRAP is a slightly different branch than us. So we have research, that we have these facilities and scientists and engineers, etc. And then IRAP really helps focus on innovation in industry specifically. Now for us, we work together quite a lot. For us, I mean in the ocean space, but yeah, it is an important part. It's a 70-year-old program, one of the best. For every dollar that goes into SME through IRAP, we have seen an $11 benefit to our GDP. So it's a pretty important program for us. We have 14 areas of S&T experience, 6 of which are important to the ocean. So I just highlighted them here. So we're looking at anything from metrology, which is really how do you measure more than anything else. So for example, we're looking at how do you measure microplastics in water, and metrology would be looking at that. And then construction would be looking at things like how do you tether, or how do you make sure that your offshore wind platform is not going to corrode away and get taken away by breakwaters, by storm surges and the like. So it really branches both sides, or all sides. So what does this mean for the blue economy? So let's focus a little on the blue economy. The speech from the throne, which just came out, really did lay out that the ocean is an important aspect, and the blue economy is our way of doing that. So essentially, we're going to invest in the blue economy, but we also want to make sure that we're protecting our ocean environment. Climate change is going to be greater importance to the federal government, particularly after COVID. We're going to focus very holistically on how do we make sure that our environment is clean and safe. And as we all know, the ocean is part of that. So that's an important piece. And of course, there's the ocean supercluster that we're all aware of. And it really is looking, so where the NRC is looking at the full spectrum of where we need to invest in R&D. So we're looking at TRL 0 to 6 all the way to 9. The supercluster is really about getting those onto the market at the end. So we all have an important role to play, and theirs is really getting these technologies into the marketplace. I'm not going to cover these quotes. Canada and the world, we are a signatory to the UN. As we all know, the UN Decade of Ocean Science for Sustainability is going to start in January, and it really is about specific knowledge and underpinning infrastructures, partnerships, etc. But it really is how do we attain those sustainable development goals together, and of course those are there, and life below water is something that's very important. But what is really a big deal here is that getting marine renewables is also a GHG emissions reduction. So we're not looking at burning fossil fuels, we're looking at actually clean renewables, and that really goes into life above as well as below water. And then the high-level panel for a sustainable ocean economy. Justin Trudeau sits on that, where he has his Sherpa sit on that, but it's with 13 other heads of state. And so there's only 4 that are in developed countries, the rest are developing countries, and it's really about how do we become a nation or nations that really do focus on sustainable oceans. And so what we've done, the NRC, our response to that is the ocean program. I'm the program director, and I work with a team of people who are really looking at how do we turn on our head this idea that the ocean is, or not the ocean, but the environment is a cost that needs to be cleaned up, to the ocean is an asset. And so what I mean by that is let's work together to protect that asset, to return its health, and let's make money doing it. So that's really what we're here today as well. We're saying, hey, let's look at marine renewables and make money while we're doing it. And how do we really facilitate that? And so we want to help support the ocean supercluster community, but we really want to increase our research and technology for that health of balance in the ocean. We're investing up to $50 million over the life of this program. It's a 7-year program. That investment has with it some collaboration funding. And again, that comes back to exactly what it is that we're looking at here today. We are looking to collaborate on our own research, and we don't always know what we don't know, which is a portion of what we're doing here. That's not to say that everybody in this call is going to get some funding. That's not the case at all, but everybody in this room is going to, or in your breakout rooms, are going to have a say as to where we're going to focus our research so that we can actually collaborate to have greater impact for Canada. Now, our capacity is really, you can read it here, but at the end of the day, it funnels into 4 main areas. And it's coastal resilience, which is really about coastal, obviously coastal resilience. And then we're looking at ships and shipping, and it really is about improving those assets, as well as we're looking at marine renewables in this as well. So if it is human-made and it is in the water, we want to make its impact on the environment as small as possible and its impact on the economy as large as possible. And we do see marine renewables in that space. Then we have pollution remediation and biosensing, which I'm not going to speak of here. This is just a slide to show you that everything we do has an ocean health and an ocean wealth component, and we're not going to do any projects under this program that doesn't have those two. It is very important to us that we merge the two, the economy and the environment, as one. 2 sides of the same coin. And finally, we have diversity inclusion built in. And we're going to wrap our entire functionality and our activities around something called an ethical space, which was developed by First Nations, where the Indigenous Circle of Experts, to really talk about reconciling nations. But we like the idea, and we'd like to wrap, how do you reconcile science, and looking at it from a two-eyed seeing perspective. And of course, we're going to do GBA, and I'm female, so we have some diversity there, though there are still a lot of Caucasian men at the NRC. Just, you know, we're working on it. And so together, what we're here for is really what we can accomplish together. And I think you all know that already, because it's been part of the invitation and the like, and the survey at the beginning, which is really, how are we going to do this together, and what can we do? So really, we're doing this in 3 ways. We're doing these workshops. So we're going to have a series of 8 workshops. This is the first, very focused on marine renewables. We'll be looking at others as well. We also have a study on publications and affiliations that we're doing, and we're going to share that broadly. So we're going to find out exactly who is doing what in the academic space in Canada, and how they're affiliating internationally. And then we're doing a GDP bird contributions from SMEs and MNEs in Canada to see what contribution they have. So what we're looking for today is really like, what can we do together, like I've been saying, and you're going to hear more of, but really we would like to have some objective that we could hook our program to say, in 7 years, we're going to be able to X. And that's what we're looking for from you. And that's all I have for now. Thank you. And I will pass the floor now to Elisa. Thank you.